go back to part 3 to our watch along of Kill. If you saw us on YouTube, you saw a very cut version because of copyright reasons. If you see a full cut version of this and other Hindi watch songs, you get over to Patreon or turn to memberships. I'll put the link in the description below or the pinned comments. You go check that out. And at the end of this part, we will talk about the movie and review it. Okay?
Oh, great.
Let's finish this movie, huh? You enjoying it so far?
Every time you do one of these, you get another gray hair.
I probably do. Most likely do.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, man.
साला हमसे पिलाए जा रहे हो देश का घंटा बचाओगे तुम ऐसे ही सेम टू सेम मारा था
No, you don't bring up Tuli.
तुलिका के हीरो
Oh!
Yep. Yo.
Break the toe. How do you even make those sounds?
तुम्हारे साथ रहने के लिए वरना जरूरी है हमको तो तुम्हारे साथ जीना है कैप्टन राठौर
They went for it, man.
Mm-hmm. And that was Kill. What'd you think, man? What'd you think?
I was so good with the realism of it.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta hand it to them. You know, they didn't try to. It always bothers me when the action hero is making it through everything unscathed.
Mm-hmm.
And so anytime an action movie addresses that,
yes,
and like you know, really gives it to the hero,
yeah,
good on them.
Yeah,
good on them. And it wasn't it wasn't predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't as predictable as
normal action movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Man, how many squish sounds in one
So
movie,
many
right?
squish sounds. Yeah, when I first saw it, it was like I was like. Because it's an Indian movie. Normally, the love always wins.
Love triumphs.
Yes. It's kind of a big part of Indian cinema is the love is the thing that triumphs. To have them like mid-movie just kill her off.
Yeah.
And then also kill the best friend off.
Yeah. This guy.
By the end of it, I was like, is he going to live? It was like, it's so different for... Not only not only Indian movies, but action movies as well. You saw Monkey Man, right?
Yeah,
which obviously that was a Hollywood movie, but
sure.
They came around about this. They came out the same year.
Okay.
But I thought both of them were very good.
Yeah,
action.
That and this both had plenty of heart,
mm-hmm.
which also is, you know, sometimes is the first thing to go.
Yeah.
You know, oh, sorry, we don't have the space in this movie to really develop.
Which is wild because this movie, it starts off All right, he's a soldier.
Yeah.
All right, this is his love interest.
Yeah.
All right, now they're on a train.
Right.
Like the build up for it all is like,
for sure.
It's fast. And so it gets you into the movie quickly, but it doesn't like leave you a lot of like the fact that people are attached to their relationship speaks to what they did because it's not like you had a big build up for their relationship.
Yeah.
It was like,
yeah.
All right, this is their relationship. She's getting married to somebody else. The dad doesn't like her, but they're going to secretly get married because they love each other.
Sure.
Enter train.
And what's cool is like they were able to use the friendship between the two soldiers to kind of like support that, that narrative. But
but also like filmmaking wise,
is
like it was filmed
very well
all
done.
in the train.
Yeah.
95% of this movie is shot in a train.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I don't know actually because I kept going back and forth watching it again. I was like, was that a blessing or a curse?
They must have. I would imagine
because I think somebody says like restriction breeds creativity or something like that.
Oh, for sure, contained.
Whatever, whether it's budgetary or whether it's
that's the coveted style or was for a while in Hollywood, which is the contained thriller. Because you can have it all here and add to the
don't have to do the Mission Impossible thing.
Right, and it adds to the claustrophobia. I mean, if we can find out the answer, I'd be very impressed. But if they were able to do that without like removing whole walls of train cars, because like that
would be wild.
Yeah, because I would imagine
they must have built one, right?
Yeah, they must have built some of it to be able to
look like it.
Yeah, like have like 3 walls and have the 4th wall be like open so they have a little more space. There
was a Q&A but I can't remember if I assume somebody would have asked about it. Obviously, if it was. I think they bought a train. This is a physical train.
Sure.
But I don't remember if they said that they cut it up or if they built some in a studio somewhere that they could obviously adjust the walls. Because that would be the biggest, the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
Is in such a confined space.
Yeah.
Not only obviously do the action, but film it and make it look good.
Yeah. And I mean... It hit so many notes, like classic action notes, but did it in its own way.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate that too. For example, when our hero is swinging into that window and the rope is getting severed, right? I mean, I think back to Die Hard. Mm-hmm. There's a moment like that in Die Hard, and with the shaft and the strap to the rifle and stuff. So I mean, it hit those notes beautifully.
Yeah.
It
did, and I appreciated it more this time. I don't know if I mentioned it the first time I saw it, but the score in this, the little Western tones, I really appreciated.
Oh, the score was fantastic because it was like Ennio Morricone meets John Carpenter. It had a bit of that like 80s synth, thing going on, like, homaging, 80s, 90s action movies, like that synth style is awesome.
Yeah.
They did great with that.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And then I think everybody did a really good job. Our main lead hero, I remember saying something about the main villain as well. I really liked his performance.
Raghav. Yeah,
Raghav.
You can tell he really enjoyed what he was doing.
Yes.
Right? He was loving that role, and that made it great because I was, you get invested in him, and he's a great villain. He's making a great crazy guy.
But he's not shticking it either.
Yeah.
Because we've seen that. It was in a movie recently. We saw some Malayalam movie, and the villains were just these kind of college kids, but all of them were like almost pretending like they were the Joker, and it was like becoming like you're trying to be like really psychopathy right now, and it's coming off bad. Where his plays very naturally. You believed him in all of his
very naturally, and he was very like you can tell he's been doing it a while. He grew up in this. He's comfortable in his element, and I even appreciated how in a short, compact movie they even found a way to like humanize him and his dad.
Yeah, and
like there
some
was
of the other villains,
right? Like there was so much going on between him and his father. Like you're like so. I appreciate that all these human details were included in an organic way. I felt like it wasn't forced.
Yeah.
You know?
This is one that could easily be remade in Hollywood or
sure.
like I mean, it's a kill movie in a train.
Oh, sure.
Like,
now,
you'd have to adjust the because it wouldn't be an arranged marriage thing.
right,
But I mean,
right. And normally they would take I
I think that's an easy
take
detail.
a jet or an Uber to wherever they were going. I
Yeah,
don't know why
trains
this, like,
aren't-
big, powerful
Yeah.
guy, business titan was on the train, but
It'd have
like,
to
you know,
be. Yeah, I don't know if you could do it on a train here.
Yeah.
Maybe you'd have to do the Hollywood movie in a different country.
yeah.
Maybe.
Man, I gotta say too, but to go back to like the small homage, like the props to the filmmakers, right? Because you know those little action notes like Die Hard, right? But also like going all the way back to like early 007 and like From Russia with Love, like there was a massive, like the emphasis of the train sequence in that movie and the big Russian villain that Bond had to fight in the tight quarters of the train car. So like it's hard to do a movie like this without homaging that stuff, but I'm so glad it was in there because like just the love language of the genre was there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite Indian action movies. I think they did a fantastic job with the
very
violence.
Yeah.
I
I love how many times they like pile drive guys into the upper bunk bed. Like that was so
or slice them open or smash their head in.
yeah. Good smashing, good, you know, top bunk bed pile driving. Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know how. You've never filmed an action movie, right? Or have you?
Well, not a full-on action movie, but I have filmed quite an extensive action like finale in one of my movies, and so you know we had to make do with what we had, of course, but you know, but I was proud of it. You know, I got through.
But
it.
like, how is that in terms of filming an action sequence versus normal that comes with its own complications, and you need to film it in a certain way to be engaging and also look real and not fake. And
oh, absolutely, absolutely. If I remember correctly, we did try to do some basic rehearsing with the actors for the fight scenes because having grown up in New York, you know, a lot of my martial arts mentors were there, and so like, you know, even though I had already been living in LA when I directed my feature, but you know, we of course went back to New York, so I was able to kind of get back in touch with my martial arts community there and get a bit of help as to, you know, okay, what would this look like, and get a little bit of advice, like technical advising there. So it was just a really gritty, for my action stuff, it was just a really gritty combination of like, you know, consulting with my teachers and also just whatever came out of my brain, you know. And it was tough too because we were filming in late fall, so the days were shorter, right? And so like we had action sequence like take place on a farm.
Did you do any squish sounds?
We did actually.
What do you use for squish sounds?
Well, you know, it depends if you have a Foley artist who's like actually in there like taking, you know, like really disgusting things and smashing them against each other and stuff, you know. I actually like, you know, it's fun, man. Like the stuff, like if you really commit to it, like the stuff you can get away with not a lot of money with an action scene is surprising. Like, I mean, you know, it like I have an like I'm very proud of my shotgun death in my movie, right? But really, it's about the buildup.
Yeah,
it's about the sound design.
Yeah,
you know, 100%. And I just all I did was like I had the actor like fill their mouth with a bunch of disgusting stuff. And we tried it first, like with just water, like, all right, we got to knock this guy back and have him like spit out all this stuff. But you know, if you cut it right with the right sound, the guy's head gets blown off. Yeah. You know, but you just make do, you know, you make do with what you have. You could have sworn that you seen the guy's head come apart, but it didn't. He just like cocked his head back and spit a bunch of crazy stuff out of his mouth. But
movie magic
indeed. So that's what, you know, but I mean, me, that was, you know, my movie's more about the threat of violence. And then, so when it finally happens, it's very visceral. To maintain that through a whole movie, I mean, yeah. props.
75% of this is
Yeah.
action,
Oh yeah,
which is
Man,
which is wild.
yeah.
I mean, it's short for an Indian movie, and it's only an hour 45.
Yeah,
which is
Yeah,
very
you usually gotta spend your day on a
on an Indian movie.
Yeah.
She's like I said, his wife is a big Shah Rukh Khan fan. Also, Amitabh Bachchan as well. So you've seen Sholay, you've seen
I've seen Dawn.
Dawn. Yes,
Dawn.
Big B's Dawn though.
Yeah.
Or have you also seen Shah Rukh Khan's Dawn?
Oh, I've seen Shah Rukh Khan's Dawn.
So you saw them both?
Yeah, I've definitely seen them both.
Dawn 2 as well?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, I
There's
need
a Dawn 2. Now they're coming out with a Dawn 3.
Really? Dawn.
Yeah. So you need to catch up on those.
I do love me some Dawn. Very serious.
Yes.
Very serious.
I love those. Anyway, well, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching this one again. This is one right when I finished. I was like, I want to watch this with somebody.
Yeah.
And so
Someone
I'm glad
special.
Yeah, someone special.
Someone
Thank you.
special.
If you guys also, if you can think of a scene that we should do,
Please,
again,
we're
let us
ready
know
for
what
another
scene
one.
that we should recreate to an English adaptation of.
If it's from this,
That'd be difficult.
Yeah,
That'd be a little difficult.
You gotta get
'cause
some volunteers.
The budget is a little down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the budgets are low, so
Yeah.
it'd need to be more of a dialogue scene as
Yeah.
opposed to murdering somebody. Although it would be fun.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of fun. Anyways, let us know what you thought about the movie. If you like it, if you didn't like it, what your thoughts on it are. Which will be our next watch along. You can let us know what you'd like to see Jonathan watch next, and anything else we need to know down below. On to the next watch along. And you did it.
Beautiful.
You did it.
What did you say at the end?
What? On to the next watch along.
No, the thing you shouted out.
At the end?
Yeah.
On to the next watch along.
Oh.
On to the next watch along.
You said it so fast I thought
I
it was
know.
like some Hindi thing.